Imagine taking a picture and with a single tap the background is gone. Clean, smooth and professional. Then with another tap you drop in a beach sunset, a city skyline or any other background that you want. And all of this inside your own Flutter application. Hello everyone and welcome to this course. In this course, we are going to build a smart Flutter application that removes and replaces image backgrounds using AI-powered image segmentation models. And all of this right on your device with no internet required. But what is image segmentation? It is a machine learning model that can detect person and background in each pixel of the image. So the model knows where in the image person is present and from where background begins. And by using this information, we can make our images transparent, apply different backgrounds, or perform other such useful tasks. So after completing this course, you will be able to use image segmentation models in Flutter without any internet connection or paid APIs. And you will build a professional background remover application in Flutter from scratch. So in this application, user can choose or capture images and then our image segmentation model will gonna make the image transparent. After that, user can apply any background to the image that he likes. And he will be able to save updated image to the gallery or share it directly from our application. But one important question is who can take this course? So whether you are just starting out with Flutter or you are an experienced developer looking to add machine learning to your application, this course is designed for you. So if you are ready to build your own AI-powered Flutter applications, let's dive in and start creating something amazing. So now let's understand image segmentation with the help of an example. So suppose we got this image and we want to make it transparent. So for that purpose, we are going to take this image and pass it to an image segmentation model. So now this model will gonna analyze each pixel of the image and it will gonna return a table similar to this. So this table is called mask. And in this table, we basically have prediction for each pixel of the image. So if the predicted value is close to 0, then it means that that particular pixels belong to the background, and if the predicted value is close to 1, then it means that it belongs to the person. Like here in case of these pixels, these belongs to the background, so we got values close to 0 or exactly 0. And these pixels which are in the middle, they belongs to the person, so here we are going to have values close to 1. And here for this example, we have divided this image into 20 pixels. But in reality, this image will gonna have thousands of pixels. And for each pixel, we will have prediction from the model. So after getting the mask, we are going to make our image transparent by using our original image and this mask. And to do that, we are going to create a new image which will be empty at the start. After that, we are going to take each pixel of our original image and we are going to check its predicted value in the mask. So if the value is close to 0, then it means that it belongs to the background. So in that case, we are going to keep that pixel transparent. And if the value is close to 1, then it means that the pixels belongs to the person. So in that case, we are going to take that pixel and put it inside our output image. And by repeating that process, we will make our image transparent. So in short words, we are going to take each pixel and check its value in the mask. So if the value is close to 1, then we are going to copy that pixel to our output image. Otherwise, we are going to make that pixel transparent inside our output image. So that's how we are going to make our image transparent with image segmentation. So after looking at this example, we can say image segmentation is a computer vision technique where each pixel in an image is classified into specific category. And in our case, these categories are usually person and background. So unlike traditional object detection which just draws boxes around objects, Segmentation gives us pixel level precision. So this means we know exactly where the person ends and where the background begins. And now let's look at some real-world applications of image segmentation. So the first and most obvious one is background removal and replacement. So it is being used in photo editing applications like PixArt, Snapseed and Canva to let users automatically remove or replace image backgrounds. And this is essential for profile pictures, e-commerce product photos and social media content. In healthcare, segmentation is used in MRI and CT scans to detect tumors, organs, or abnormalities at pixel level, and it allows doctors to diagnose and treat patients with higher accuracy. Popular tools like Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams use image segmentation to isolate the user and apply custom or blur background all in real time. And this works even without green screens thanks to the segmentation model. Virtual try-on apps rely on image segmentation to overlay products accurately on the user's body and face. Self-driving cars use segmentation to identify roads, pedestrian, vehicle, and obstacles. And it helps in lane detection, traffic sign recognition, and avoid collisions. Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok apply face and body segmentation to place AR effects, clothing, makeup, or other items precisely. Similarly, it ensures that these filters only affect certain part of the image or video stream. So in short words, image segmentation has countless real-world applications. And in this course, we are going to use these models inside Flutter for building our custom ML-powered applications. Hello guys, Hamza here. I just want to let you know that this video is just the first part of my complete Flutter and image segmentation, remove and change image backgrounds course. The complete course is around 3 hours long and it includes all source code that we write in this course. Every section has before and after source code, so you can easily code along with me. Apart from that, you will get a certificate upon completion which you can add to your resume. And the course comes with a 30 days money back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied, just simply ask for a refund. So if you are interested, then I will put a link down below and we are offering a huge discount to first 50 students. And now let's continue to the next lecture. Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to build our first Flutter application of this course, and this is an image picker application. So basically, we are going to build an application where user can choose an image from gallery, or he can capture an image using camera inside our Flutter application. And after that, we are going to display that selected or captured image inside our Flutter application. And we are building this application because later we need to pass that image to our machine learning models and get the results. So that's why we are learning to choose or capture images inside Flutter. So now let's start by creating a new Flutter project. So open your Android Studio and click on this new Flutter project button. After that, make sure that Flutter is selected here, then click next. And here you need to assign a name to your application. So I will name it as image picker. And after that, you can select the project location here, and then you can add a description if you want to. And after that, you can select the platforms for which you want to build this application. Like here, Android, iOS, Linux, Mac, Web and Windows is selected. So it means that this Flutter project will be created for all of these platforms. So after ensuring these things, click on this create button and our new Flutter project will be created in just a second. So now our new Flutter project is created and it is ready. So let's firstly install this new application inside an iOS simulator or inside an Android emulator and look at the default counter application. And after that we are going to start building our image picker application. So I have already created an iOS simulator and you can see it here. And in your case, if it is not running, then you can click on this open iOS simulator. Then a simulator similar to this one will be opened. And after that you can select it here and then click on this run button and our application will be installed inside it in just a minute. So now our application is installed inside the simulator and you can see the starter application. So this is basically the default counter application provided by Flutter. And here when you will click on this floating button, this count will gonna increase. So this is the application present inside our starter code. And now we are going to make changes inside this code because we want to build our image picker application. And the first step of building our application is creating its GUI. So inside our image picker application, we are going to add a button on screen. And when the user will gonna click on this button, we are going to launch the gallery where user can select an image. And once user will gonna select the image, we are going to display that selected image here. Similarly, when the user will gonna long press on that button, we are going to launch the camera. And when the user will gonna capture the image in that camera, we are going to display the captured image here. So that will be the flow of our application. And now we are going to start by adding the GUI of our image picker application. So in the GUI, we will have a button and then a view where we are going to display the image. So where in this application code we need to add the button. So right now you can see we are inside our main dot and it contains all the code of this counter application. So here when you will scroll down, you will find a build method here. And inside this build method, the GUI of this application is present. So when you will scroll down, you will gonna find this text widget which is displaying this text. You have pushed the button this many times. So this is the text which is being displayed here. And then also we are displaying this count here. So here we are displaying the GUI of this counter application. But now we want to build the GUI of our image picker application. So we are going to remove the GUI of this counter application here. So basically inside our build method, we got a scaffold. And then in that scaffold, we are displaying this app bar. And this app bar is displaying this title, Flutter Demo Homepage. And after that, in the body of this scaffold, we are displaying a column widget. And that column widget is displaying both of these text widgets. But now we are going to remove both text widgets from here. And after that, press Command S. And when you will do that, you can see this text is gone. And the reason is we have removed these widgets from here. Similarly, let's remove this button as well. So you can see this floating action button. So just select it till this point and then remove it. After that, press Command S. And now you can see this button is gone as well. And now after removing the previous GUI, we are going to add an elevated button here. And then in that button, we are going to pass the child property. So the child of this button will be a text widget because we want to display a text choose or capture on this button. So write the text choose or capture. And after that, the second thing which we need to pass is this onPress method. So this callback or this method will be executed when the user will gonna click on this button. So here we can pass an empty method. And this method will be executed once the user will gonna click on this button. So press Command S. And you can see this button choose or capture. And when the user will gonna click on it, this method will be executed. And inside it, we are going to write the code for opening the gallery so that user can select an image. And once user will gonna select the image, we need to display that image above this button. So to display that image, we are going to add an image widget inside our GUI. So write image here and then call its file method. So we are going to display the image using a file object. And the reason is once we are going to choose or capture the image, we are going to get that image in the form of file. And after that, we are going to display that image using this image.file method. But right now we do not have our image in the form of file format. But later we are going to get that image in the form of file. So to store that image in a file object, what we can do is to create a file object inside our my home page state. So basically above this build method, you can declare a variable of type file and then you can name it image. And after that you need to import the library in which this file object is present. So click on this icon and import this library .io. And after that you will see an error here because we did not initialize this image object. So here we can make this image object nullable. So it means that this image variable can be null or it can contain an image file. So after creating this image variable here, we are going to pass it inside this file object. So image and select this image. And after that between these two widgets add a comma and this error will be gone. But right now you can see we are getting an error that this image can be null or the argument of file cannot be assigned to a parameter of file. So basically it is stating that we cannot specify this image variable here because it can be null. So here to avoid this thing we can check that if this image variable is null, so in that case we are not going to call this image.file function. So if this image is equal to null, so in that case we are not going to do this thing, but in that case we are going to display an image icon here. So I have added an icon widget here and inside it you can specify the icon which you want to display. And you can select this icon using this icons class. So add this icons and then add a dot and you will be able to see a lot of icons here. So as we want to display an image related icon, so type image and you will find a lot of image icons. So let's select this icon for now. And after that add a colon here because this is the else block. And after doing this thing, we have made sure that whenever this image variable will be null, so in that case we are not going to display the image but we are going to display the icon. So here we can pass a not null insertion that this image variable will not be null whenever this function will be called, because we have made sure that whenever this variable is null we are going to display an icon and not going to display this image. So after doing that press Command S and there you can see this small image icon here. And now we can also increase the size of this icon. So here set the size property and we are going to select the size to 50 for now. After that press Command S and you can see the size of this icon is increased. Similarly if you want to increase it further like 150 then you can do that and you can see its size is increasing. So now we have created a very simple GUI for our image picker application. And in that GUI we have added a button which is displaying this text choose or capture, and then we are displaying a view or a widget where we are going to display the image. So basically before displaying the image we are checking the value of this image variable. So if it is null, so in that case we are going to display this icon here, and if it is not null, which means that user have chosen or selected any image, so in that case we are going to display that image on screen. And now inside our next lecture we are going to start the process of choosing or capturing image inside our application. So see you in the next lecture. Hello guys, Hamza here. I just want to let you know that this video is just the first part of my complete Flutter and image segmentation, remove and change image backgrounds course. The complete course is around 3 hours long and it includes all source code that we write in this course. Every section has before and after source code, so you can easily code along with me. Apart from that, you will get a certificate upon completion which you can add to your resume. And the course comes with a 30 days money back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied, just simply ask for a refund. So if you are interested, then I will put a link down below and we are offering a huge discount to first 50 students. And now let's continue to the next lecture. Welcome to this lecture. So now after creating the GUI of this application, it's time to add the feature of choosing or capturing images inside Flutter. So to do that, we are going to use a library called Image Picker. So open your favorite browser and then go to Google and here type pub.dev, and you can also directly type it here in the search bar. And now in the search result, open this first link pub.dev and this website will be opened. So this is basically the official package repository for Dot and Flutter applications, and here you can search for any Dot or Flutter related library, and the library which we are looking for is called Image Picker. So type Image Picker here and press enter, and after that, to view the results clearly, let's minimize the simulator and you will be able to see this image picker library as the first result, and it is the most popular and used library in Flutter. So click on this library and the documentation page will be opened. And now the first step is installing this library inside our Flutter project. So to do that, click on this installing section and there you will find this dependency. So just simply copy this line and open our application. And here inside pubspec.yaml file, you need to paste this line in the dependencies section. So you can see this section here, and whatever library you want to add in your project, you need to paste its dependency here. So I pasted it here, and now click on this pub-get, and this library will be downloaded and added inside our project in just a minute. And there you can see this library is downloaded and it is now added inside our Flutter project. And after adding the library, open the documentation page again and go to README section. And there we will find the instructions for using this library inside iOS and Android. And you can also see we can use this library inside macOS, web, Windows and Linux as well. So here scroll down and the first section which you are going to find is for iOS. So basically to use this library inside our iOS applications, we need to follow these steps. And if we want to use this library inside Android, then we need to follow these instructions as well. So these are some additional things which we need to do for Android and iOS. So we are firstly going to start by looking at the instructions for iOS. So as the main purpose of this library is to open the gallery so that user can select an image. And similarly, it also provides an option to launch the camera so that user can capture an image. So for using this library, we need to add few permissions inside our application. So basically we are going to show user a dialog that our application want to access the gallery or the camera. And if user will gonna allow those permissions, only then this library will gonna help us to choose or capture images inside Flutter. So to add those permissions, we need to add some key string pairs inside our iOS section. So basically when you will gonna open the Flutter project, you will find this iOS folder. And when you will expand it, you will find this runner folder, so expand it. And inside it, you will find this info.plist file. So now inside this file, we need to specify the reason that why our application want to access the gallery or camera. And we are going to specify that reason in the form of this key string pair. So between these key pairs, we need to specify the key that for which permission we are writing the reason in the string tag. So here when you will open the documentation page, the first tag is this NS photo library usage description. And here we need to specify the reason that why our application want to access this photo library. So just simply copy this key and open our application. And here inside this dictionary tag, add a new key tag. And after that, paste the line that we copied and then create a closing key tag as well. So here we have specified this key, and now to write the reason, you are going to add a string tag here. And after that, create a closing string tag as well. And now between these string tags, you need to write the reason that why your application want to access the gallery. And this reason will be according to your application. Like if you are building an image editing application, then you can write the reason as my application provides the functionality to edit images. So that's why we need to access the gallery. So here you can type that reason. And after that we need to do the same thing for the camera as well. So what you can do is to copy this key string tag and then you can paste it here. And after that improve the spacing. And then open the documentation page and copy this NS camera usage description. And after that open our application again, and here in the key tag simply replace the key with this key. So now here you will going to write the reason that why your application want to access the camera. And similarly, if inside your application you want to record a video, then you need to specify the reason that why your application want to access the microphone as well. So that's how inside iOS section you are going to specify the permissions. So after following these steps, the setup for iOS is completed. And now the next instructions are for Android. So for Android, no configuration required. So as this library is updated, so now we don't need to do anything inside Android section. And by just simply installing this library inside our Flutter project, we can use it inside Android applications as well. So after doing that, the setup for both Android and iOS is completed. And now the next step is using this library for choosing or capturing images inside Flutter. So now after setting up the library, let's start using it for choosing or capturing images. So on this documentation page, scroll down and you will find this example section. And there you will gonna find the instructions for using this library inside Flutter. So you can see the first step is creating an image picker object. And after that, to pick an image, they are calling this picker.pickImage method. And inside it, they are specifying the source to gallery. So basically, if you want to select the image from gallery, then specify the source to gallery here. And if you want to capture an image using camera, then specify the source to camera here. So now let's start using this library so that things will be clear. So first step is creating this image picker object. So open our application and go to main . And here we can remove these comments to make our code cleaner. Similarly, let's remove all of these comments as well. And after doing that, to format our code, right click or press Ctrl click and select this reformat code with dot format, and it will gonna format our code and it is looking much better. So now let's enhance this section, and then above our build method we are going to declare an image picker object. So let's call this object as image picker, and after that add a late keyword before this declaration because we want to declare it later. So after declaring the object here, we are going to initialize it inside our init state method. So here type init and you will see this option for init state. So just select it and this method will be added. So this init state method is the first method which will be called once our application will be visible on screen. And inside it we are going to initialize this image picker. So write image picker and then call its constructor. So image picker. And that's it. So now we are declaring our image picker object here and initializing it inside our init state. And after doing that, we need to use this image picker for choosing or capturing image. So to do that, we are going to create a method and name it choosEmage. And we are going to call this method when we want to choose an image from gallery. And as we want to choose the image when the user will gonna click on this button, so we are going to call this method inside this onPress. So call this choosEmage method here. And that's it. So now when the user will gonna click on this button, this choosEmage method will be executed, and inside it we are going to write the code for launching the gallery and choosing the image. So to do that, we are going to use this image picker and we are going to call its pickImage method, and inside it we need to specify the image source. So type image source and then add a dot, and you will see these two sources here. So as we want to choose image from gallery, so we will select gallery here, and that's it. So this line will gonna open the gallery once user will gonna click on this button, and then user can select the image, and once user will gonna select it, this pick image will gonna return an X file object. So here we can create an X file object, and then we can name it selected image, and after that we can assign the result here. And as this X file is nullable, so add a question mark here, and after that we need to add an await keyword here. And we have added this await keyword here because this pick image method will gonna open the gallery, and until user will gonna select the image, we are not going to get this X file. So basically we need to wait here. So that's why we added this keyword, and once we will do that, we need to make the method asynchronous inside which we are calling this await keyword. So make this method asynchronous, and that's it. So it means that this method will be executed asynchronously, and meanwhile other things can be performed in the backend. So now this choose image method will be called, and inside it we are calling this pick image, and it will gonna show a gallery here. And once user will gonna select the image, we are going to get that image in the form of X file object. And after getting the image, we need to display that image to the user on screen. And to do that, we need to store this X file inside our file variable, because when this image variable will not be null, then this image will be displayed on screen using this image.file. So here, to convert this X file into a file object, you can firstly check that if the selected image is null or not, because there are chances that it will be null because it is nullable. So if it is not null, so in that case we are going to assign the result to our image variable, and here we are going to create a new file object, and inside it we are going to pass the path of the file, and we are going to get the path using our selected image. So selected image dot path, and after that add a semicolon, and that's it. So basically if the user have selected the image, then this code will be executed, and we are going to store that selected image in the form of file object inside our image variable. And now as this image variable will not be null and it is containing an image, so our image will be displayed here instead of this icon. But to tell our GUI that this image variable is changed, we need to call setState method, and inside it pass the variable about which you want to inform the GUI, and that's it. So now as this image variable will not be null, and because of this setState our GUI will be updated, so we will be able to see the selected image here. So after making all of these changes, simply click on the stop main dot, and then install the application again inside the simulator. And now you will be able to choose images inside our Flutter application. Similarly, you can install it inside an Android emulator, and you can perform the same thing there. And here you can notice that we clicked on the stop main dot and then install the application again, and the reason is we have added the image picker library, and now to make those changes in the installed application we need to install it completely. So now our application is installed, so let's click on this button. And there you can see when I clicked on it, I got this pop-up that our application would like to access your photos. And the reason mentioned here is the word which we put inside our info.playlist. So there you can see we did not write any proper reason. We just wrote the word reason. So whatever text you will gonna write here, it will be visible. So here let's give this permission. And once I did that, I will be able to see the gallery of my iPhone. And same will be the case for Android. And here we can select any image, like I am going to select this image. And as soon as I selected the image, our image is being displayed in the GUI. And the reason for this thing is, once user have selected the image, we got that image in the form of X file object, and then we converted it into a file object and told our GUI that this image variable is updated. And now in the GUI, we are checking the value of this image variable. So if it is not null, then we are going to display the image using this image widget. Similarly, you can try the same thing for some other image. So I will gonna select this image. And you can see our image is being displayed here. So now the first feature of our image picker application is working correctly. And now after choosing the image, the next step is capturing the images using camera inside our application. So to do that, what we need to do is to add another callback inside this elevated button. So basically we want that when the user will gonna long press on this button, we want to open the camera so that user can capture an image. So inside our elevated button, after this on press, we can add an on long press method. And then we can create the body of this method. And now inside these brackets we can call another method which is capture image. And we did not created this method yet, but now above we are going to create this method below this choose image. So simply copy this choose image method and paste it below, and here rename it to capture image. And after doing that, inside this method we need to make only one change, and that is instead of this image source to gallery, we need to specify the image source to camera here, and that's it. So now when the user will gonna long press on this method, then this capture image method will be called, and inside it we are using this image picker.pickImage method, but this time this pick image will gonna launch the camera, and once user will gonna capture the image, we are showing that image to the user on screen. But if you will try to run the application on iOS simulator, you will not going to get anything upon long pressing on this button, because there is no camera preview inside iOS simulator. So to test this feature, we need to install the application inside an Android emulator. So to test this feature, I am going to install this application on an Android emulator. So I will gonna select this Pixel 8 emulator here, and in your case you can select the one which you created. And after that, let's simply click on this run main dot and our application will be installed inside that emulator in just a minute. So now the application is installed inside this Android emulator, and because of the settings of my system, you can see this warning. So I can click on wait and this will be gone, but in your case it will not gonna occur. So to open the camera, what we can do is to long press on this choose or capture button. And there you can see the camera is opened inside this Android emulator, and this is the default camera preview for this emulator. So let's capture an image. And once I captured the image, you can see this captured image is being displayed inside our application. And same is the case for real device, that when you are going to install this application inside your real iOS or Android device, you will be able to choose or capture images inside your application. And we are doing that with the help of this image picker package. Welcome to this lecture. So now we have completed our image picker application in Flutter, and in this application we are choosing images from gallery or capturing them using camera inside Flutter. And in this lecture we will quickly review the process that how we have built this application. So firstly, we have created a new Flutter project, and then in that project we have added this image picker library, and using this library we are able to choose or capture images inside Flutter. And after adding the library, we have specified the permissions for iOS inside our info.plist file. And after doing that, inside our main dot, we have declared an image picker object, and then we initialized it inside our init set. After that, in the GUI, we have added this elevated button, and when the user is clicking on it, we are calling this choose image method, and when the user is long pressing on it, we are calling this capture image method. And inside these methods, we are using this image picker library to choose or capture images. So here, once user will gonna capture the image or he will gonna choose it, we are going to get that image in the form of X file object, and after that we are converting it into a file object, and then we are storing it inside this image variable. and we are using this image variable in the GUI to display the image. So there you can see we are checking the value of this image variable, that if it is not null, then we are going to display the image stored inside this variable. So that is the reason that once user will gonna choose or capture the image, the selected image is being displayed here. Hello guys, Hamza here. I just want to let you know that this video is just the first part of my complete Flutter and image segmentation, remove and change image backgrounds course. The complete course is around 3 hours long and it includes all source code that we write in this course. Every section has before and after source code, so you can easily code along with me. Apart from that, you will get a certificate upon completion which you can add to your resume. And the course comes with a 30 days money back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied, just simply ask for a refund. So if you are interested, then I will put a link down below, and we are offering a huge discount to first 50 students. And now let's continue to the next lecture. So now let's start building our image segmentation application in Flutter. And for that purpose, the first step is getting our starter application code from GitHub. And this is the same application which we have completed inside our image picker section. So if you got that application, then you can use it. But if you want to be on the same page as we are, then you can take this starter application code. So this code will be present in the resources section of this lecture, or you can also open this repository by typing this URL, and then you can click on this code button and copy this link. After that, open your Android Studio and here click on this get from version control. Now paste the link here and click clone, and our application will be cloned in just a minute. And there you can see our application is imported successfully. And if you will look at the code of this application, it will gonna sound familiar because we got our image picker application code here. So this is the method for choosing image from gallery, and this is for capturing image using camera. So if you did not completed our image picker section, then I strongly recommend you do, otherwise this code will not be familiar for you. So after importing this code, let's firstly install it inside an Android emulator and see what does it contain, and then we are going to add our image segmentation code inside this application. So there you can see our application is installed, and this is the GUI of this application. So above we got this box here where we are going to display our selected or captured image, and then we got these two buttons here. So to choose image from gallery, user can click here and the device gallery will be opened. So let's select an image. So we will select this one. And there you can see our selected image is being displayed here. Similarly, when user will gonna click here, the camera will be opened and he can capture an image. And there you can see our captured image is also being displayed here. So this is the functionality of our image picker application, and we have built a similar application inside our image picker section. So now let's quickly look at the code of this application, and then from next lecture we are going to start our image segmentation process. So to choose or capture images inside this application, we are using image picker library. So there you can see we have added the dependency inside our pubspec.yaml. After that, for iOS, we need to go to inside our iOS runner folder, and there inside info.plist we have added these two key value pairs for gallery and camera permissions, and then inside our main .dot file we are using the library. So there you can see we are declaring and initializing an image picker object. After that, let's look at the GUI. So in the build method you can see we got a scaffold, and there firstly we got our GUI for this image box. So if the image is not selected, so in that case we are displaying our container with the message no image selected, and if the image is selected, then we are displaying that particular image here. And below image we are displaying these two elevated buttons for pick image from for choosing images from gallery or capturing the image. And when user is clicking on any of the buttons, then the relevant method will be called, and we got them here. So inside pick image from gallery, we are using this image picker object and calling pick image, and there specifying the source to gallery. And then in case of capture image, we are specifying the source to camera. So in both cases, once user will gonna choose or capture the image, we will get the selected image in the form of X file object. And then we are taking the path of the selected or captured image and assigning it to this file variable. And we are using this underscore image or file variable inside our GUI for displaying the image. So this is the code of our image picker application, and now we are going to pass this selected or captured image to our image segmentation model. So after getting the starter application and choosing or capturing images inside Flutter, the next step is passing these images to our image segmentation model and making them transparent. So we are going to start that process now. So in order to perform image segmentation, we are going to use Selfie segmentation models provided by Google MLKit. And to use that model, open your browser and then go to pub.dev. So this site is an official package repository for Dart and Flutter packages, and in our case we are looking for Selfie segmentation package. So type Selfie segmentation and press enter, and you can see this first result, Google MLKit Selfie segmentation. So click on it and the home page for this library will be opened. And here, in order to use this library inside our project, you can click on this copy icon and it will gonna copy the dependency. Then open your application, and inside PubSpec we can add it below this image picker. Now click on this pubget so that the library will be downloaded and added inside our project. So there you can see the library is added successfully inside our project. So after adding the library, let's look at the documentation of this library. So if you will scroll down, you will see some setup for Android and iOS. So firstly, let's look at the instructions for Android. So we need to make sure that our minimum SDK version should be 21 and our target and compile SDK versions should be 35. And in case of modern Android Studio versions, all of these requirements are already met. But if you are trying to run this application inside an Android device and you will get some error, then you need to make sure that inside this Android folder, you will go to this app folder and open this build.gradle file, and then here for this min SDK you will specify 21 manually, and for this target and for this compile SDK you should specify 35, but we are not going to do that because it is not needed. And after that, the next thing is the instructions or the setup for iOS, and we are going to look at it inside our next lecture. But for now, let's look at the documentation of this library a little. So if you will click on the link which is in the beginning, then this particular site will be opened. So this is the documentation for this feature, and there you can read MLKit Selfie segmentation allows developer to easily separate the background from user within a scene and focus on what matters. And similarly, you can see this example image here, that when we are going to pass this image to the selfie segmentation model, it will gonna indicate that where in this particular image the person is present. And if you will scroll down, you will see the key features provided by this library. So the first one is cross-platform support. So as we can use this library on both Android and iOS, so this is a major feature. And then the second thing is single or multiple user support. So this library can detect both single and multiple persons inside an image. So this is also a major feature. And the third thing is full and half body support. So it means that by using this library, we can detect the person in the image even though if a part of person is present in the image. So it is not necessary that the whole person should be visible in the image. And then the fourth one is real-time results. So it means that this library can detect or segment out persons in both static images and also in videos. And then you can see this last one, raw size mask support. So we are going to cover this parameter while implementing the library inside our application. And if you will scroll further down, you will see some sample results as well. And there you can see it is able to segment out multiple persons as well. So now after looking at the details of this library, it's time to use it inside our application for separating the background from the person images. Hello guys, Hamza here. I just want to let you know that this video is just the first part of my complete Flutter and image segmentation, remove and change image backgrounds course. The complete course is around 3 hours long and it includes all source code that we write in this course. Every section has before and after source code, so you can easily code along with me. Apart from that, you will get a certificate upon completion which you can add to your resume. And the course comes with a 30 days money back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied, just simply ask for a refund. So if you are interested, then I will put a link down below, and we are offering a huge discount to first 50 students. And now let's continue to the next lecture. So after adding the library, the next thing is setting up the requirements for iOS. So whether you are using selfie segmentation, pose detection, or any other feature of Google ML-Kit, the requirements for Android and iOS are same. So let's look at the requirements for iOS. So the first requirement is our minimum iOS deployment target should be 15 or greater. And to check that, you can open your project and here you can right click on iOS, then go to Flutter and open it inside Xcode. And then here you can click on this runner and you will be able to see minimum deployment target here. So for now it is set to 12, but we need to set it greater than 15.5 or 15.5. So we will select this one. Similarly, you can select the runner here and then make sure it is 15.5, and also for this runner test. So now after doing that, the first requirement is met. After that, the second requirement is your Xcode should be 15.3.0 or newer. So you can check that Xcode version. And then the third requirement is your Swift version. So it should be Swift 5. So to check that, you can open your terminal and there you can execute this command xcrun Swift version. So press enter. And there you can see it is showing Swift version 5.9.2. So it is greater than 5, so this requirement is also met. And then the fourth one is our system architecture. So MLKit does not support 32-bit architecture. So it supports 64-bit architecture, and you can check this list which is provided on this link to see whether your device has the capability or not. And this requirement is usually met for all the systems, so you can also ignore it. And then the final thing is you have to go to your project runner, building settings, excluded architecture, and there you need to make sure that it is set to this ARMv7. So to check that, you can go to Xcode and there you can select the runner and then build setting. And here you should select this all and you will be able to find this excluded architecture. So expand it, and then here for this debug profile and release, you need to set it to that value ARMv7. So I will gonna paste this word here and also for remaining two. And that's it. So now after doing that, the requirements for using the libraries provided by Google ML-Kit are met. And now you will be able to run this application on iOS device as well. So this is the setup for iOS. So after adding the library and covering its documentation, it's time to use it inside our application. And for that purpose, if you will scroll down, you will find the steps to use this library. And there you can see the first one is creating an input image. So as we want to pass our selected or captured image to our selfie segmentation model, so to do that we need to convert that image into a format called input image. So let's firstly do that inside our application. So there you can see inside our main dot when user is selecting or capturing the images, then these methods are being called. And now inside these methods, after getting the image, we need to pass it to our segmentation model. And for that purpose, we can create a method here and name it like perform image segmentation. And after that, we can call these methods inside both capture image with camera and pick image from gallery. So call this perform image segmentation here and also here. So now it means that as soon as person will gonna choose or capture the image, after getting the image, the code of this method will be executed. And there we need to firstly convert that image into this input image format. And to do that, we can use this input image class which is present inside our selfie segmentation library. So write input image and name it input image. And then to convert our image into this format, we are going to use input image dot from file function. So write input image here and add a dot and you will see these options. So as we got our image in the form of file, so we are going to use this method. But if you got your image in the form of bitmaps, byte or the path of file, you can use these methods as well. So let's use it, and there we are going to pass our underscore image and then add a null insertion and a semicolon, and that's it. So now when this method will be called, our image will be converted into this particular format. And after that, the next thing is passing this image to our segmentation model. But to do that, we need to firstly load our model. And for that purpose, we are creating an object of selfie segmenter. So here you can copy these lines and open your application. Then above this pick image from gallery, you can paste the code. And now let's look at it. So there you can see we are declaring a segmenter object here and then initializing it by using this selfie segmenter class. So basically when we are creating this object, our selfie segmentation model will be loaded in the background. And while initializing this object, we are passing two parameters inside it. So firstly, we are passing the mode, and for now we are setting to stream. So we are going to use this stream mode when we are going to use the live camera footage with this model. But for now we want to pass the images, so we are going to set this mode to single. And after that, the second parameter is this enable raw size mask. So we are setting it to true, and by doing that, it is making sure that when we are going to pass our image to this model and it will gonna return the mask, the size of the mask will be equal to the size of input image. And if we set it to false, then it will gonna return the low size mask. So we are going to set it to true so that we will get the mask of larger size and our results will be better. So now after doing that, our selfie segmentation model will be loaded inside our application. And after loading the model, the next thing is passing this image to the model and getting the result. And we are going to do that inside our next lecture. So see you in the next lecture. So after creating this input image and initializing our selfie segmentation model, the next step is passing this image to the model and getting the result. And we are going to do that here. So if you will open the documentation page, the next thing is processing the image. So what you can do is to simply copy this line and then paste it below this input image. And now after pasting the line, we need to make this method async, so just simply do that. And there you can see we are using our segmenter object and calling its process image method, and there we are passing this input image. So basically when this process image method will be called, our image will be passed to our selfie segmentation model, and it will gonna detect the person and the background in the whole image, and then it is returned returning this result. So this result is actually an object of type segmentation mask. So here by using this line, we are simply passing our image to a segmentation model and getting the result. And after getting the results, we need to use them and make our image transparent. Or in other words, we are going to remove the background from person image. And before doing that, let's explore this object a little, and then we are going to make our image transparent. So here, after getting this mask object, we are going to add an if condition and check that if this mask is not null. So in that case, we are going to print the details of this mask. So use this print function, and then inside it we are going to display the text like results and then add an equal sign. And after that, let's firstly show the width and the height of the mask, and then we are also going to print that list of double or our confidences. So to do that, we can use interpolation. So add a dollar sign and these brackets, and there we can access this mask object and then access the width. And after that, we are going to access the height, so mask.height. And then finally, we are going to print that confidence list. And that's it. So now after doing that, let's simply click on this top main dot and install the application again here, so that our selfie segmentation library will be completely added here. And then after selecting the image, we might be able to see these details. So let's simply do that. So our application is opened again. So let's select an image from gallery. So let's say we are using this particular image. And there you can see the image is being visible here. And now if we will check the run sections, there you can see this detail. So you can see this result. So the mask width and the height is 256 by 256. And then we are able to see this list of confidences. So these are actually the confidence score for each pixel of the image. And there you can see some zero values. So these are the pixels which belong to the background. And then you can see some other values. So these are representing the pixels which are representing the person. And we are now going to use this detail for making this image transparent. But right now we have made sure that our application is working correctly and we are able to pass input to the model and get the output. So now after passing input to the model and getting the output, the next step is using this output or result and making our image transparent. So how we are going to achieve that? So to do that, we are going to create another image, and that image will be empty. And after that, we are going to take each pixel of this original image and we are going to check its confidence inside this confidence list. So if the confidence score for that pixel is close to 1, then we are going to include it in the new image. Otherwise, we are going to keep that pixel transparent in the new image. So we are going to repeat the process for each pixel of the image to make this image transparent. So hopefully you are getting the point that after taking each pixel of the image and then getting its confidence from this list, we are going to check if the confidence score for that pixel is close to 1, then it means that it belongs to the person. So in that case, we are going to add that pixel in the output image. Otherwise, we are going to keep that pixel transparent. So that will be the process. But how we can do that? So in order to perform these image related operations, we are going to use another library called image. And that image library is one of the efficient libraries for manipulating images inside Flutter. So open your browser, and there you can go to pub.dev again and search for this image library. So there you can see the results. So this is the library which we are going to use. So you can simply copy its dependency by clicking on this icon. And then inside pubspec, you can paste it below this segmentation. And then click pubget so that the library will be downloaded and added inside our project. So there you can see the library is added inside our application successfully. So after adding the library, the next step is converting our original image into that library format so that we can get each pixel of the original image and then check its confidence. So here inside this if condition, after printing the results, we are going to add a block, and that is for converting our original image. So convert original image format, and then here we are going to write the code. So to convert our original image, which is currently in the form of file, into this format, we are firstly going to get the bytes for this image. So image dot read as bytes, and it will gonna return the bytes for the image, but to get them we have to add this await keyword because it will gonna take some time, and also add a not null insertion. And then we can assign these bytes to a variable, and we can name it like original raw, because these are the raw bytes of the original image. And now to convert it into that image format provided by this library, we have to firstly import that library. And to do that, you can go to the documentation page and click here, and then if you will scroll down, you will see the import for this library. So you can simply copy it and add it at the top of our file. So here we can paste it, and the import is added. And here after pasting this import, you might see some error here. So in that case, you can simply close the project and open it again, and the error will be gone. So there you can see we are importing this image library, and we are assigning the alias img to it. So the main reason for doing this is there are multiple libraries which contains this image dot. So we are using this alias to make sure that each time we want to use the function of this library, we are going to access it using this img keyword. And now inside our application, after getting the bytes, we are going to convert those bytes into that image format. And for that purpose, we are going to write img, and we are going to declare an image object, and we are going to name it like original image. And after that, we are going to convert these bytes into this format by using a decode image function. So img.decode image, and there we are going to pass these bytes. So simply add them here and add a semicolon. And after that, you need to make this original image nullable, because the result of this decode image can also be null. And now after writing these two lines, we are firstly converting our file into bytes, and then those bytes into an image format provided by this library. So now after getting our image in this format, we are going to create our output image where we are going to store our results, or that will be our image which will be transparent and only contains the person. And we are going to do that by using this image library. So here we can declare an image object again and name it output. And after that, using this img.image, we are going to use its constructor, and there we are going to set the width property, and this will gonna represent the width of the output image, and we are going to use the same width as our original image. And to access it, we can use this original image.width property. Similarly, we are going to specify the height here, so height, and use this original image dot height. And there you can notice these errors because this original image can also be null. So to handle them, here we can check that if this original image is null, so in that case we are simply going to return from here. So it means that this code will not be executed, and this code will be only executed if this original image is not null. So now here, after creating this output image, the next step is iterating each pixel of this original image and then checking the confidence value for it, and then saving that pixel in the output image. And we are going to do that inside our next lecture. So see you in the next lecture. Hello guys, Hamza here. I just want to let you know that this video is just the first part of my complete Flutter and image segmentation, remove and change image backgrounds course. The complete course is around 3 hours long, and it includes all source code that we write in this course. Every section has before and after source code, so you can easily code along with me. Apart from that, you will get a certificate upon completion which you can add to your resume. And the course comes with a 30 days money back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied, just simply ask for a refund. So if you are interested, then I will put a link down below, and we are offering a huge discount to first 50 students. And now let's continue to the next lecture.